It's so interesting how in the wellness world, the hottest topic out there right now is gut health. And while gut health is extremely important, that's not what we're talking about today. Today, I'm talking about another major organ that's working 24/7 behind the scenes, and it never gets the attention it deserves. I'm talking about the liver. Welcome to today's video. My name is Maria, and I help women navigate through midlife with real-life evidence-based strategies that actually move the needle. Fat loss, energy, and hormone-supportive habits so that you can make this your best chapter yet. Your liver is basically a 24-hour processing plant in your body. It helps filter, store, convert, package, regulate, and break down pretty much everything that runs through our bloodstream. Let's go over some major functions of the liver, what happens to the body when the liver starts struggling, and some functional and holistic methods that we can do to support the liver. Let's get into it. The liver is responsible for over 500 functions in the human body. That's a pretty extensive resume, and I would say that we need to show a little appreciation to the liver for everything it does for our body. Some of the major things, for example, is it is a processor. All the blood leaving our stomach and intestines runs through the liver. So after you eat, the liver is one of the first places that nutrients and other things you consume go to be handled. It helps process these nutrients. It decides what gets stored, what gets converted, what gets released, and what gets broken down. The liver can filter through 3 pints of blood per minute, removing toxins like alcohol, drugs, environmental pollutants, and it contains specialized immune cells that help remove bacteria from the bloodstream. Second, it helps with energy regulation. When you eat carbohydrates, the liver takes the glucose, converts it to glycogen to be stored for energy later. So when you're fasting or between meals and you need a little bit of energy, the liver releases that fuel back into circulation. Third, the liver makes bile, which is essential for digesting fats and for absorbing fat-soluble vitamins. The liver also produces essential blood clotting proteins and cholesterol to help synthesize hormones. Also, the liver is responsible for breaking down hormones like estrogen, helping to keep our body in hormonal balance. So when you hear the liver detoxes the body, yes, that's very true, but it's such an understatement. Your liver is not just detoxing, it's filtering, balancing, converting, storing, manufacturing, and regulating. It does an extraordinary amount of work, and that's why we need to be a little kinder to it. This matters so much to us midlife ladies because liver health has been tied very closely to metabolic health and metabolic disorders. So if a woman might be noticing more belly fat, higher cholesterol, higher triglycerides, more blood sugar swings, more fatigue, a harder time losing weight, and some signs of insulin resistance, those things may not automatically mean that there's a liver issue, but the liver is definitely tied to a bigger metabolic picture. That's one of the reasons I wanted to do today's video, because it feels like all these major issues are always talked in isolation. We've got weight gain here, hormone health here, gut health, blood sugar, but it is all tied together. And the liver is one of the major organs that helps connect all these systems. You might have heard of fatty liver disease. Now it's called something else. I'll put it on the screen here. But it's strongly associated with metabolic dysfunction. That includes insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, excess body fat, and elevated triglycerides. So let's talk a little bit about fatty liver. Fatty liver means that the liver itself is starting to accumulate excess amounts of fat. Fatty liver was originally tied directly to excessive alcohol use, but over time we've discovered that processed foods also lead to fatty liver disease, and that was labeled non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and now it's that new description that I've got on the screen. And the 2 key words to take from this term, metabolic dysfunction. For the most part, the liver is extremely resilient, and it will start accumulating this fat, and you won't really feel many symptoms. Not until it starts getting overloaded with fat to the point that it's actually taxing on the functions. Some people often feel tired and sluggish. Some people might actually feel a pain on their upper right-hand side here where the liver is actually located. When the liver is sluggish, it has trouble metabolizing excess hormones, which means they circulate back into the body, which means us ladies in perimenopause and menopause could experience symptoms from excess hormones or an imbalance of hormones. If the liver continues to be strained, that will lead to inflammation and actual liver damage. Over time, worst case scenario, it can lead to fibrosis and cirrhosis of the liver. That's a whole other serious topic above my pay scale, so I'm not going to talk about that. But just to let you know some signs and symptoms to be aware of when liver disease really starts progressing. You can experience jaundice, dark urine, pale stools, itching, swelling, weakness, bruising easily, and loss of appetite. If someone you know is exhibiting any of those symptoms, definitely seek medical attention. Quick pause to ask if you're finding this information helpful. Please subscribe for weekly content that helps support women in midlife. I also offer a free monthly newsletter that helps further support women in perimenopause and menopause, and I'll leave the QR code on the screen and the link in the description box below. Now, you might hear in the wellness space that all you need to take care of the liver is just a detoxifying tea or powder or juice cleanse, and you just need a 7-day reset to put your liver back in full motion. And while those things could be a little helpful, the liver is already doing its detoxifying job. Your job is to put less burden on the liver, and that is with proper diet and lifestyle. So while a dramatic cleanse might feel really exciting and like you're doing something good for your body, it's those boring, basic things of good diet, nutrition, and less stress that are actually going to move the needle. Natural ways to support the liver. Of course, number one is to improve your metabolic health. This means improving insulin sensitivity, lowering your visceral fat, building muscle, stabilizing blood sugar, and improving triglycerides. This is why simple, basic, easy, boring things like walking after meals, eating more protein, strength training, and eating more fiber-rich foods matters. I recently made a video all about fiber. I think you should watch it after this one. I'll link it in the cards and in the description box below and at the end of this video. These are not just weight loss habits, they're metabolic health habits. And metabolic health habits means they're also liver supportive habits. Number two is to eat in a way that helps reduce the burden on the liver. That means a liver supportive diet. It's nothing extreme, it's just going again back to the basics. Whole foods, veggies, adequate protein, healthy fats like nuts, seeds, avocado, olive oil, and fish. And of course, the biggest changes is to avoid added sugars and fewer processed foods. A Mediterranean-style diet actually works really well for this scenario. It supports the liver and also cardiometabolic health at the same time. For veggies, look for cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, kale, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. They all contain compounds that boost liver's natural detox enzymes. Also, bitter greens like dandelion or arugula help stimulate bile production. Also, the liver loves water, so drinking filtered water with maybe a splash of lemon. This will help the liver and the kidneys with flushing waste. Number three, of course, is fiber. I already mentioned this a second ago, but fiber helps support blood sugar, satiety, cholesterol, and metabolic health overall, therefore supporting the liver and its pathways too. Beans, lentils, chia, flax, oats, berries, avocado, and veggies. Number four is to move your body consistently. Walking counts here, strength training counts. Regular exercise will help improve insulin sensitivity and the fat load on the liver. Even a daily 20-minute walk, that's enough to get the needle moving. And if you can throw in a couple of resistance training sessions a week, that's even better. Number five, and this one's pretty obvious, and that is to be more mindful with alcohol. Even if alcohol may not be the main driver for liver dysfunction, it is still adding to the workload. So reducing it or taking a break from it can absolutely help the liver get back on track. Number six is don't underestimate the power of sleep and recovery. Poor sleep tends to worsen metabolic health. It affects blood sugar regulation, increases inflammation and cravings, and that overall makes it harder on the body to function, including the liver. So if you're trying to support your liver, but you're only sleeping 5 hours a night, you're overstressed, you're undernourished, and you're sedentary, then I think we have to zoom out and look at the whole picture. Number seven, there's just a couple of herbs and supplements that have shown to help support the liver. Milk thistle is a guardian for our liver cells. It helps to regenerate them. Also, turmeric or curcumin is a powerful anti-inflammatory, and this has shown to support the liver detox pathways. And then there's NAC, which actually helps the body create glutathione, which is also a master antioxidant and really helpful for the liver. If you're concerned about your your own liver health, the next step may not be to be guessing, it might be to actually get some data. You can ask your doctor about some blood work that might help check some key markers in your liver function. And this is something I'm learning more and more about as I'm training to be a functional practitioner, and soon I'll be able to offer this lab work myself. But in the meantime, this is all blood work that's usually typical of an annual checkup. The goal is not to panic, it's to make yourself aware and take action. Luckily, the liver has an incredible ability to heal itself. It just needs the proper support. If you found this video empowering and helpful, please like and subscribe for more weekly content that helps support women in midlife. And I'd love to know in the comments below what wellness topic you'd like me to tackle next. If you'd like to know the amazing things fiber can do for your body, please click on this video here, and I'll see you over there. Thanks so much for watching.